Hello, students, and welcome to Chapter 1, Section 4. We're going to dive into the scientific method. This is a method for individuals who are researching in order to follow steps in order to make the best research study that they can. So forming a research question is first, then developing a hypothesis or hypotheses, testing the hypothesis or hypotheses, then drawing conclusions on said hypotheses and publishing the findings are the steps. So there are methods to obtaining research from children. You can do a parent questionnaire. So this is something that the parent fills out on their own and gives back to you. You can take diaries on the behaviors of children or have parents fill this out for you. You can do direct observation, so watching them in the natural setting, maybe school or on the playground at recess. There are also parent and teacher reports that we can learn from based on the behavior of the child. We can do interviews with parents. And finally, we can interview the children as well, as long as we gain consent from the parents. That's very important. So there are key terms that we're going to look over. So first, there's naturalistic observation. So this would be studying children in the field itself. This is very natural, and this is in their natural setting or environment in which the activities occur. So maybe, for example, you want to watch children's behavior when they play with others at recess. So you can watch them play kickball or use the swings, and you just casually observe what they are doing. You don't interfere. You just observe what they're doing. So we are going to talk about William H. Brown. He studied preschoolers in the naturalistic setting and made this a part of the field. He studied the levels of activity in which these children partook in. Most lived a very sedimentary lifestyle during the day, over 80% of the time. Next, we're going to talk about a case study. So this is a study of one individual and their behavior. So they're very, very detailed and specific. No two case studies are alike. And these would be used as different methods of gaining information on one child's behavior patterns. Some psychologists that used these very frequently were Freud and Piaget. They utilized case studies to gain more information on the children they were studying, even following these cases for many, many years to gain information. This takes us to surveys. Why are surveys used, you might ask? So they're very helpful in gaining information on things that cannot be seen in the natural setting. They're sent home to parents and sometimes children, but mainly parents. This is also to offer information that can't be seen or found via experimentation. So what does it mean to correlate information? So first, we're going to define correlation. This is a relationship between two variables or two items. There's positive and negative correlation. So first, we're going to talk about positive correlation. One variable increases as the second variable also increases. So if something's positively correlating, it could be the child's behavior is great when they are given ice cream. So as ice cream increases, good behavior also increases. Next, we'll talk about negative correlation. One variable or item increases as the other decreases. So an example of this would be as a child goes to swim lessons, the struggles they have in the pool decrease. So a negative correlation would be one thing going up, the increasing of swim lessons, as the other goes down. Their drowning decreases, which is great. Correlation can show relationships between two or more variables, but does not show cause and effect. Correlation does not cause causation. Some key terms I'd like to cover. An experiment. So first of all, this is a method of scientific investigation that seeks to discover cause and effect relationships. By introduction of independent and dependent variables, and observing their effects on these dependent variables. So the treatment, this is the part of an experiment where a condition received by the subject is taken and its effects can be observed. So for instance, if a child has ADHD and they're given the medicine and the control group is not given the medicine, the treatment would be the medicine. So independent variable, or IV, this is a scientific study. The condition is manipulated or changed, so the effects of it can be observed. This is different than the dependent variable, or the ID. In a scientific study, a measure of an assumed effect of an independent variable. So they cannot exist without each other. So experiments use experimental and control groups. So this is what I was talking about maybe them getting the medicine, which is the treatment, and the other group getting the placebo, which is non-treatment. So the control group would get would be compared against the treated group. So participants in the experimental group would receive the treatment, whereas participants in the control group would not receive the treatment. They would receive the placebo or the fake treatment. More terms continued. So there are different types of research I'd like to cover. First being longitudinal research. This research is the process by taking repeated measures of the same group of children at various stages of development throughout their lives. Next, we have cross-sectional relationship research. And this is the study of development that processes by taking measurements of children at different age groups, but at the same time. So they don't have to be the same age group, but it is at the same time. So it's crossing sections of research because of the age differences. So there's cohort effect. So cohort effect is a large issue that comes with cross-sectional research. A cohort is a group of people born roughly at the same time that are being researched. So cohort effect is the similarities in the behaviors among a group of peers that stem from the fact of the group members and their approximate same age. So this would be because of their development. So cross-sequential research is next. This is an approach that combines the longitudinal and cross-sectional methods, so the two methods, by following individuals of different age groups for abbreviated periods of time. And finally, time lag comparison. So this is the study of developmental processes by taking measures of children of the same age group, but at different times in life. Next, we will talk about the ethical considerations of research in children. So why do we adhere to the ethical standards? There are a few very, very good reasons. One, to promote dignity of each individual that is in the research and respect their autonomy. To foster human welfare of the children that we work with. And finally, to maintain scientific integrity. That's very important when researching. And that concludes chapter 1. I hope you enjoyed it, and I look forward to teaching chapter 2.